ladies and gentlemen, Aaron John here for Forever Football DRFC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel. It is transfer analysis time. We signed a striker. Cue the party celebrations. Da 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 da. Oh, we've got to cue the party celebrations. We've actually signed a striker. At no point that'll get clipped up on Twitter now. But we have signed a striker. It is Joe Dodoo, signed on a 2-year deal from Wigan Athletic. Of course, Wigan was his last club. He was a free agent, obviously. But the last club was Wigan Athletic last season. So let's go into the club statement, social media reaction, and I'll share my thoughts on the deal. So before we get started, guys, please like the video if you loved it, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, subscribe if you are new around here, click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. Can we get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of 2021? I think we can do it. I reckon we could do it. We can even get to 3,000 by the end of 2021. So let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, guys. Also, can we get this video to... What should we set as a like target for today? Share this video around. Let's try and get 50 likes in the next 48 hours. That's a realistic target. And for now, guys, let's talk about Joe Dodoo, the new player at Doncaster Rovers Football Club. So, let's go through the club statement first of all, and it reads as follows. Rovers have completed the signing of experienced striker Joe Dodoo on a 2-year deal. The 26-year-old arrives having made more than 100 appearances in the English game. Starts his career with Leicester City, where he works with current boss Richie Wellens at the King Power Stadium. Excuse me. He left the Foxes to join Scottish Giants Rangers in 2016 and went on to make 24 appearances during his time at the Ibrox, and all spent periods on loan at Charlton and Blackpool respectively. The 6-foot frontman has spent the past 2 seasons in League One with Bolton and Wigan and scored for both clubs against Rovers in each of the outings at the Keepmoat Stadium. He scored 4 goals and assisted a further 3 in 12 starts for the Latics last season, and he could make his debut tomorrow night in the Papa John's Trophy against Rotherham United. Excuse me, you have to bear with me again. Still recovering. But let's have a look at the social media reaction. Someone says, no pressure, Joe. As long as he scores enough to keep us in this league, I'm happy. I think that's the aim. Someone put a new striker and put a clip of me doing the Sweet Caroline outside the stadium at the Pompey game. Someone put a picture of his stats saying looking good with a worried face. But you've got to remember, John Marquise came to this club a few years back with very worrying stats, and look how that turned out. So I think if Joe Dodoo could do what I think he's going to do, that rhymed. If he could do what I think he could do, then we could have another John Marquise on our hands. But we'll see what happens. Someone said a decent signing, certainly better than some of the others mentioned. I agree. There were some weird ones mentioned. Nicky Jose, Kieran Agard. I think Josh Parker was named by fans at one point. Josh Parker's got a very bad scoring record of late. He's a nice guy, all of them are nice guys, but we don't want someone with a bad scoring record or as bad as it could be. So we want someone who's got a decent scoring record or somewhat of a decent scoring record that we can develop. And also, the good thing about Joe is Richie Wellens has worked with him before, so it's a positive. Someone says, now what do we complain about? And you've got to admit, some Rovers fans just always complain, so I think they're just taking the mickey out of that now. Someone said, at least it's not Parker. I think compared to his scoring record, I would much prefer Joe in this instant on terms of scoring record. Someone said, welcome to the club, Joe. Obviously, other people talking about... asking for any advice from Wigan fans, and someone said that he liked him. Started slowly, but then came into his own a bit and scored some goals and created for others. It is a 2-year deal. People are questioning why it's a 2-year deal. I like a 2-year deal. I think it's a decent one. So yeah, I think that's very good. A Bolton fan said he's actually good, very threatening runner, not a number 9 by any means. So that's very interesting. Obviously, he can play across the front line, which is what we were told. We were told that it was someone that's played abroad in the past, as well as higher levels, and he's also been in League One the last few years, but also can play across the front line. So we've got some decent players now that can play across the front line. Taylor on the wings, Okanabira can play across the front line, so can Awula, so can Dodoo. So I think we've got a bunch of players that we can rotate across the front three. Excuse me. Let's have a look at some quote tweets. Not great, not awful. I'm not going to complain about this. That's a decent way of looking at it. We can't complain about it at the moment. And I think that some people will question fans who complain about it even before a ball's been kicked. Certain players work well at different clubs. So let's see what he can do in a Rovers shirt, because if he does well and people complained about him before a ball's been kicked, they're going to look embarrassing, aren't they? So we can't really complain. We're just going to move on and say, welcome to the club, hope you do well, and see what happens. Someone said it's better than what they were expecting. I think some people were expecting Nicky Ajose, Josh Parker, Kieran Agard. So I think that some people have their personal preferences. My personal preference would have been Joe Dodoo. I think he was probably my personal preference out of the free agency. Obviously, there were players further up in terms of finances. If we had a bigger budget, then obviously there would have been people up there that we would have signed. You know, there was other people that fit the criteria, like your Umar Niasse, but again, wage cut, I don't think he'd take that. So I think Joe Dodoo is probably my personal choice anyway, so I'm happy with it. Obviously, some people saying, talking about Joe Dodoo, someone said, don't know much about this bloke, hopefully he can find some form and do the business for us. I'm hoping for that as well. Someone said hoping it works out, but he's not convinced. That's fair. At least people have got their opinion. Someone's already got a chant for Joe Dodoo, and it's Dodoo, 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 Joe Dodoo. I see I can get the tune of Pink Panther spot on. So Carlos on Twitter, mad chant, and we're going to chant that if he scores tomorrow, if he's playing. Happy to have that sort of Joe's deal 4-3-3 football. That's perfect. He can play that formation perfect, which is wonderful for us. Always causes problems when we played against him. Hopefully he can kick on with us. I hope so as well. Last minute winner against Wigan at the weekend. I'm praying. That's the thing as well. Our first league opponent back after the break is Wigan, away from home. Mate, and that's a former club. So, there we go. It could be written in the stars for us to get our first win. Obviously, 18 Dappers put on Twitter, welcome to Doncaster Rovers, Dodoo. Look forward to seeing you play. Plenty of chance created for you and put away and pull us up the table. I agree myself. Baller, says someone else. Better than no one, still a 2-year deal. Mr. Dodoo has a lot to live up to after the past week or so. He does indeed. So there we go. That is the information on Joe Dodoo, the brand new signing here at Doncaster Rovers Football Club on a 2-year deal. I think Into the Empty Net is right. You know, he's got a lot to live up to for a 2-year deal, especially. But I've got confidence in Joe. Excuse me. I've got confidence in Joe because I think that Joe could definitely do the business for us. I think, like I said, 4-3-3, loves that formation, plays very well in that formation specifically. Worked with Richie in the past, and I think Doncaster Rovers put an extra tweet out there in the last half an hour or so. That, well, by the time you're watching this, I think the main quote that he took from his first press conference his first interview with the club was, the manager, something like the manager is what brought me here. Again, that seems to be a common theme with these signings. The manager and the vision brought the players here. And the sooner we get clarity from the board on where we're going, and hopefully we'll get some stuff from the Free Press this week about the sit-down meeting with Gavin, the CEO, hopefully, fingers crossed, once we get a bit more from that, we'll know where we're going. And we'll have an identity as to where we're going to be heading. So that's in terms of off the field. But on the field, I love this signing. Plays the 4-3-3. Worked with Richie in the past. It was a nightmare against us for the Wigan game last season. So I think that, again, he could be someone that could definitely do the business for us. I've got confidence that he could do well, but let's see what happens. Not going to reserve judgment on him until, obviously, the end of the season and see what happens. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And for now, I'm Aaron Chandler from Throw Football, DRFC, keep living the Rovers life. I swear to you guys, the sooner I get better, 100%, the less coughing you'll see in these videos. And for now, guys, keep living the Rovers life, and I'll see you guys next time. That is full time. Rovers side eye. Welcome to the club, Joe Dodoo.